Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of All Queued Up. This is your review podcast tied to streaming services like Netflix, almost said HBO, XBO Max is what I almost said. HBO Max, Netflix, I said Netflix, Amazon, but whatever, you get it. You get it. This is like episode 100,082, so whatever.
181, actually.
181, there you go. I'm your host, Greg Deeds. With me always is my Don Fisher. How's your week been?
I've had a really good week, I think. Let's see.
Good.
Anything bad happened this week? No, I've had a good week. Got to hang out with a friend of mine yesterday and catch up. You know, we hung out for a few hours. That was enjoyable. Let's see. Oh, the Raiders lost horribly, and that was just heartbreaking. I had to stop watching in the first quarter. It was bad.
You got to give it to the. It was the Chiefs that they played, right?
Oh no, it was the Chiefs they showed up at.
No, well, okay. The Chief was with the other team that was playing them, right? Because, like, I was gonna say, the joke I was gonna make was,
yeah, they were playing really at Kansas City.
It was really nice of the Chiefs to not hold back on that high school football team. You know what I mean?
Oh no, they looked little league. They looked terrible.
They did not. It was bad. I watched part of it and I was like, ooh.
It was horrible. I had to stop watching, so I started watching season 1 of The Witcher to rewatch it to prepare for season 2, which comes out today as of the day this is published. This is Wednesday. We're referring to Friday the 17th. But yeah, I'm super excited for The Witcher. Rewatching season 1, I was just like, oh, I forgot how much I love this show. But yeah, things are pretty good for me. How about you?
They're good. They're good over here. I mean, as good as they can be. And if nothing bad has happened, but my mom has been decorating like crazy for Christmas, which is, I'm not the world's biggest fan of Christmas or decorating for it. Like, I don't mind it. I think Christmas can be fun, but like, I'm down with a fake small tree in the corner of the house. And she's just like, we got to decorate all the windows and stuff. And I'm like, okay. But, yeah, I was telling you, like, part of my week this last week was doing an exploit in Fall Guys, where we were getting, for context for anyone who's not played Fall Guys, when you win a game of Fall Guys, you get a crown. The crowns can accumulate to enough to buy certain costumes for your character. Like, crowns and kudos are the currency in the game, and they buy cosmetic things. So that's what you have to know. They came out with a mode called Squads, which would give you 20 crown shards. And if you got 60 crown shards total, you'd get a full crown. And you can get shards by doing different modes that are squad based. So there's duos, which is just 2, trios, and regular squads, which is 4, and completing dailies. With that in mind, they came out with a mode called Extreme, which was like main show, but if you fell off the map, you didn't respawn. You were just dead. You were just eliminated. So they did this with squads. They did extreme squads. And the way that worked was like, if a teammate fell out, they couldn't get any points for your team. Because the way squads works is like, depending on where you cross the finish line, you get points for your team. And if you get enough points to beat out the other teams, then that's that. In squads, it's the same idea, but you don't get to respawn. That's as simple as it gets. For main show, you get 1 crown. For extreme show, you got 2 crowns. So we assumed that since you got 20 shards for winning a squad show, that for extreme squads, you were going to get 40 shards. That was the assumption. Nope, they should have gave you 2 crowns. Which was wild. We were like fucking playing squads because like we're good enough to where we don't fall off maps to begin with. At least a good chunk of us that play the game. So we were thinking like
I fall
quite a bit.
Hey, I hold my own very well though on a lot of things.
Sure.
All right,
Yeah.
asshole.
So we were thinking like, oh man, like if we play this all weekend, we can get 2 crowns per win. That's great. Like we could increase our crown rank. This is awesome. And because they have like a crown rank system in it or whatever, where you can get golden costumes. And Friday morning, Andy texts me, my buddy Andy. He goes, they're doing Double Crown weekend. This is because the Game Awards had happened Thursday. So Friday, they started giving out double crowns. Well, they didn't change anything, and you could get 4 whole crowns for winning Extreme Squads, which is insane. Like, think of it from this perspective. It would take 3 squad games to get 1 crown regularly. And with Extreme Squad's 4 crown win, that's what's 3 times 4.
You're doing what you could accomplish in 12 games in one game.
Mm-hmm.
And that would mean you would have to be consistently winning 12 games in a row to accomplish what you would accomplish in one here.
Exactly. So it was exciting.
I'm a decent enough player. I'm mediocre. They invite me to play along on Wednesday nights and we have fun, but I'm not good enough to be invited on the weekend for this. There are certain things I'm not good at in the game, and precision jumping is a weakness of mine. And these, like where they're slime related, you fall in the slime, you're eliminated. Those are my weakness. They are my kryptonite. So I'm not good enough to be in the part of that.
Which it's so wild to me that you're not good at the precision jumping because
Greg's frozen.
Am I?
There he is. Now you're back.
Weird. I didn't see any of that.
Oh.
What's wild to me about you being not a good precision jumper at Fall Guys is that you have 100% completed fucking Witcher 3 and Spider-Man and games that require like fast reaction time and quick thinking. But then when it comes to Fall Guys, you're like, it fucking blows my mind.
There are some things I'm really, really good at. I mean, I have the fucking trophies to prove it. It's just, Look how long it took me to get the platinum trophy in Fall Guys. It took it took me a year to get it, and the only reason I got it is because the one that was eluding me was win 5 matches in a row. I couldn't do it on my own. I had to do it in squads with you guys.
Right. Yeah, so many players got it in squads, which is fine. Like, it makes sense. I know that a lot of people, like, winning 5 games in main show is damn near fucking impossible. And it took, Andy, he couldn't even get it in main show. I got it by luck. Like, I was just kind of drunk one night and just kept fucking winning, and I didn't even realize it until the next morning.
I remember the night you got it, actually.
Yeah, because I didn't even know. I didn't even see it pop. I didn't see it pop. But the next morning, I was like, "Holy shit! What the fuck? How did I do this?" But yeah, like, that's the thing is like when they come out with a mode that is designed for what we call sweaty lobbies, where everyone is fighting for those fucking rewards hard. You're gonna get that. And that was the thing with Extreme Squads was like, yes, we were. So there was an exploit. They didn't mention this yet, did I?
No.
What the exploit was essentially when you get to the final, if somebody drops out on your team before hitting the slime, the game doesn't trigger that they're gone and eliminate them like it should. It would trigger basically the game to think that everybody in the lobby tied. And so then it gives every single player 4 crowns. So you can imagine what everyone was doing this weekend. This exploit ruined like friendships, no joke. Like I've been reading about it on Reddit and whatnot. We had a friend that we play with commonly that he didn't like it, so he didn't participate. It was crazy. Like it was wild. I mean, I 100% participated. Like We're not.
That blows my mind how somebody will destroy a friendship over a game. I can't understand why somebody would do that.
Yeah, we heard some fucking horror stories this weekend. Like one of the girls that we play with, she was telling us how this big lobby had a guy that was just like, he hopped into the big voice party, and they were like, yeah, hop onto our game, and then it's going to be your turn because we all just did it once, and then once we're done, you won't have to do it until it's your turn again. And he was just like, fuck you guys, I'm fucking done, don't ever invite me, and like cut himself out of all the groups that he was part of.
Wow.
And I text Andy because we heard the story at the same time. I was like, because she was telling us about all this drama within her group. And for example, let me give you this for example, Maya. Our friend Luna, she was playing with a bunch of Golden Knights. For context, a Golden Knight is the max level of the crown rank. To get max level crown rank, you have to obtain 3,125 crowns. Overall.
That's a lot. That's
It is a ton.
Considering my crown total is just over 200.
My crown total is, before this event, it was at like 825. Now I'm at over 1,000. So,
wow.
But that being said, she would get into these parties with these Golden Knights that were just like jumping out every round, every time they get to the final, because they didn't need the crowns. So they would alternate while they allowed Luna to stay in, and she just raked in the fucking crowns this weekend. But she was telling us about like somebody in that group that was like kind of doing that. There was a guy that this weekend who was like, I'm just gonna play it normally, and if I get to a final and I see someone leave, I'm dropping out. I'm not gonna allow my crowns to be tainted by whatever. And I'm like, why are y'all taking the silly bean game so fucking seriously? Holy shit! Like, it's my favorite game, multiplayer game to play in general. I've tried the new Halo. I've tried all these other games, and they just don't excite me or make me want to come back by myself. Like Fall Guys does.
And that's the thing, I really only enjoy playing the game when playing with you and Andy and Mark. I mean, I will play it on my own for, about an hour each day, just enough to do the daily stuff and, maybe like get a level in the season. I'll do that each day when a new season comes out. But once I do that, I really only play on Wednesday nights with you guys because that's when I really have fun, because we have so much fun when we're laughing and just fucking each other over, or but we're all generally playing to win and have a good time and compete. But I don't take it as seriously, but it is genuinely a very fun multiplayer game, and I don't do multiplayer games for the most part.
The casual competition is 100% a valid thing that Fall Guys embodies. And everyone this weekend was just like, you mean I can fucking rake in the crowns? And actually, like I was like, everyone participated except for like a handful of people. And I was fucking mind blown. I could not believe it. I was like, how are you this unwilling to participate in this? And it was just, dude, the whole weekend was crazy like that. But I did rake in a lot of crowns.
I didn't even know it was going on. I played Friday because I finished up the Aloy challenge.
Yeah, which ended Sunday.
Yeah, I finished it Friday night. I got Aloy. And I remember you were saying, you're probably going to have to go for those 2,000 canister one, because
you were having a hard time getting that bird across the finish line.
I was, and the next morning I did it my first attempt.
That's so funny. And you did it on one of the harder maps to do it on.
Yeah, I did it on DoorDash.
Like,
it was crazy. And what's fucking funnier, what's amazing, I finished 3rd place on the map with a penguin.
Jesus. That's funny. That is really funny. Well, long story short, I was going a little bit long in the tooth. It was just a really interesting thing that happened this weekend because it's been a long time since I've seen that much drama come from a video game, especially a game like Fall Guys, which makes it even weirder. But dude, it was fun though. Regardless, like I want them to bring. That was the other joke that I wanted to make was, so the guy that we play with, Newbie, who lives in Canada on the East Coast, or he's in the East Coast time zone. He has a friend named Michelle that he plays with all the time, and this one specific night, I hopped into their game. This was during the crown rank thing, or the 4 crown thing, and Newbie just happened to be in the party. He wasn't even playing. It was like 4 of us just doing the exploit. And we were talking about it, and he's like, I don't want to participate. It just leaves a bad taste in my mouth, yada, yada, yada. We were like, cool, whatever, man. But, Michelle was like talking about how like all these other exploits he's done, and he was totally cool with, but this one he's not suddenly. And it just didn't make any sense. So she gave it a name that I thought was really clever, that it was our blood crowns.
Oh, that explains your video that uploaded to your channel this morning. The blood crown being is mean.
Yep. So let me. God damn it, dude. So yeah. So since that's the case, that's what my bean looks like currently.
It looks like a bucket of blood dropped over a yellow jelly bean.
Yeah. I found the paint dipped is what it's called, and then like the crown makes it bright red, and I was like, oh, that's perfect.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. It's been a lot of Fall Guys this past few days. Like right after the event. Nightmare for Christmas is coming to Fall Guys, by the way.
Yeah, I know. I saw that this morning, actually. I showed Misty. I was like, look, honey. Comes out tomorrow. Starts tomorrow, I think.
No.
I thought it was the 16th.
Is tomorrow the 16th? Yeah, okay, it does start tomorrow. Yeah. Which means we'll probably, like, get that challenge done fucking in the blink of an eye.
Yeah.
Though I won't have a lot of time to play it this weekend because I'm going up to Donkeys on Thursday to stay the night, and then because Friday at noon, a Spider-Man.
Yeah, we're seeing it Friday at 11:50 a.m. Eastern. I am super fucking excited.
Yeah, so that before we get into our review, that is something that I do want to bring up. So this episode, everybody, we're going to be talking about episode 5 of Hawkeye, which is the penultimate episode to the finale. And we're going to talk about our top 5 shows of
2021. Basically everything we've reviewed since basically Christmas of last year.
Yes. Yeah, essentially. I might have missed a show, but that doesn't matter because the ones I have left. Yeah, I have a 6. I have 6 on here because I made 6. We'll talk about our top 3 each, but what the fuck ever. The reason that we're doing that this week instead of doing like more shows or whatever is because next week we have a mega episode. Just in case you forgot from last week, next week is going to be the Hawkeye season finale, the South Park post-COVID. What do you call that?
COVID Returns. The Paramount Plus special.
Yeah. The Witcher Season 2, which is, the whole season. And Spider-Man No Way Home. So we're going to be reviewing 4 things next week. It's going to be a heavy episode. Very thick and juicy. So.
Like Greg.
I don't know that I'm juicy. I don't know that I'm juicy, but yeah. So let's go ahead and just start talking about Hawkeye, I guess. Episode 5.
All right. Yeah, this episode here, it started out, slow, but it built up. I'm really enjoying this series. The whole playing detective and trying to figure out, who's pulling the strings, this and that, and the on again, off again partnership of Kate and Clint. Um, and this episode, it's the fallout from the rooftop fight from the last one where he discovers that somebody's hired a Black Widow to kill him. Well, not specifically kill him, but somebody hired a Black Widow, and he knew that meant it was bad news. And
You
in
don't
this,
hire Black Widow without the thought of an assassination in mind.
yeah, essentially. And this Black Widow happened to be Yelena, Natasha's sister. And she introduces herself and makes herself right at home in Kate's half-burned apartment and offers her some mac and cheese while she tells her why she's there, which is essentially to kill Clint and to stay out of her way. And she's like, well, who hired you? And she's like, I don't know. I'll look into it. And that comes into play at the very end of the episode.
Yeah.
Clint, in the meantime, is trying to put to rest the fact that, the tracksuits and Maya in general are out to kill the Ronin. And he's like, the Ronin doesn't exist anymore. The Ronin is dead. Well, he sends them a message to meet the Ronin where they first met. They show up. The tracksuits do. Maya with, various tracksuit henchmen around her to make it appear that she's.
Before you continue, did we entirely skip the conversation between Kate and Yelena?
Well, I mentioned it. I
Because
said that she shows up at her half-burned apartment and made mac and cheese and told her why she was there, which was to kill Clint Barton. And she said, well, who hired you to do that?
that scene was fucking insane, by the way. Like, you don't get to see that kind of masterclass acting very often. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe it was just me. I don't know, dude. Like, it was insane. It was so. That scene between them was like, I could watch that scene again by itself.
Yeah, it was good. I'm just giving the highlights.
Yeah, I know. I just fucking Christ on a cracker. That scene was good.
Oh, I enjoyed it very much.
Go ahead. Sorry. Continue with the story.
But Clint, he shows up as Ronin. He takes out Maya's backup and then confronts her, and they have a little fight. He takes her down, has his sword at her throat, and takes his mask off. He's like, stay away from my family. Leave this alone. And he basically tells her the reason I was here that night was because of an informant. So now he's planted the seeds of doubt in her mind. Who was this informant who wasn't there? And she immediately, after the fight's over, she talks to Kazi and says, where were you the night of the meeting? He's like, where's this coming from? She's like, you were in town. Where were you? And he's like, I never got the call. So she's like, okay. So, obviously he's the informant for her boss, and they've hinted at who the boss is. And they've been subtle hints. And this one, you got a couple of more direct hints. But at the end of the episode, you get a flat-out reveal of who the boss is. Which we'll get there. Basically, what happened after that? Oh, Kate tracked Clint, and she Maya gets the upper hand on Clint. She's getting ready to stab him with his sword, the Ronin sword, and Kate shoots it with an arrow out of her hand, and she leaves. And then her and Clint take an Uber because she had an Uber waiting at the end of an alley. take an Uber and go back to that one fireman's place. And they're sitting there eating pizza, having a discussion and everything. She's like, I found out who the Black Widow is. It's Natasha's sister. And Clint's like, Yelena. She's like, yeah. She gets a text and says, oh, I found out who hired me. Does the name Eleanor Bishop mean anything to you? And then sent her a picture of Kate's mother and the boss man.
The big guy,
the big guy, the
oh. So I had speculated that we were going to see him in
next
the show
week
for a couple reasons. So first and foremost, it was kind of like people were talking about it months ago that he was making his return back in the MCU, but nobody had any time to. And then to make matters even more like complicated, there was rumor that Charlie Cox is going to show up as Matt Murdock in Spider-Man No Way Home. Still don't have any concrete evidence of that. But the biggest thing for me was Echo in the comics works for Kingpin at a certain point. She breaks off from him and all that stuff. One of Hawkeye's biggest rivals is Bullseye. Who does Bullseye work for? Kingpin. So of course
Hawkeye.
Huh?
Daredevil.
Hawkeye's dealt with Bullseye quite a lot. In the comics.
Oh yeah. But I always associate Bullseye more as the.
Sure, I'm just pointing out that like Hawkeye's fought Kingpin in the comics a bit, so that's why I might come to that. Plus, the Tracksuit Mafia in the comics works with Kingpin quite a bit too. So there were a lot of connective tissues there. And the other big thing for me about Kingpin being in this episode, that I had a feeling was because when Kevin Feige was in an interview here recently, he said that he confirmed that when when the Daredevil comes back to the MCU, it'll definitely be Charlie Cox.
Yeah. And Vincent D'Onofrio sent him a congratulatory tweet.
There you go, yeah. So I was kind of waiting for it, and they kept hinting at it throughout the whole season. Like, she works for another guy. Like, you see a hand pinch Maya on the cheek when she's a little girl, and I'm like, it's got to be fucking Kingpin. And so the last shot of this episode was a very grainy picture, albeit, of Kate's mom directly talking face-to-face with Kingpin.
Vincent D'Onofrio as Kingpin. And he was in the credits. Vincent D'Onofrio's name was in the credits.
Yeah. So I'm fucking stoked.
One of my favorite things from the Netflix shows of Daredevil was Kingpin. And I loved him in season 1. And of course, season 2, he was in prison. You see him briefly in The Punisher and a couple of prison scenes. But season 3, when he is out and he hires Bullseye, dude, season 3's Kingpin was fucking incredible. And I was like, I want this guy to be in everything. And now he is official. Now, that, this doesn't make everything from the Netflix shows canon, but it could. But of course, I'm just excited because this all but cements Charlie Cox showing up as Matt Murdock in No Way Home.
Right. Like, because here's the thing. I was explaining this to my dad because I was so fucking excited last night. Charlie Cox coming in as Matt Murdock makes sense. Spider-Man's been outed. He's being called public enemy number 1. We know that for a fact about No Way Home. Him talking or like, maybe Aunt May or even like happy knowing Matt Murdock and that Matt could be, brought into the MCU as like a defendant of superheroes. Like that could be a thing, which could lead into an amazing fucking episode arc of She-Hulk.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, so it's very possible that Matt Murdock will show up in No Way Home. But if we see Charlie Cox as Matt Murdock in No Way Home, then, like, we can, in a sense, confirm that his specific Netflix show is canon. But as I said to Maya, what I'd love to fucking see is like somehow Netflix just be like, just fucking boop, boop. Like they just move everything to Disney Plus and be like, hey, all the Defenders shit, canon.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Kristen Ritter. Welcome back, guy.
Mike Coulter.
Mike Coulter, thank you. I could not remember his name. And then like Danny Rand, for example, that they could have an entire thing with him where, he lost he passed down the Iron Fist mantle because that is a legacy thing. Like it's not tied to just Danny Rand. It's Colleen Wing had it in the episode for fuck's sake for like a second. So, and they could totally tie in that with the fucking new comic that's coming out in February. I just, there's the possibilities are fucking endless right now, and I'm so excited. Anyway, this episode was great.
Yeah, this episode was really good. I mean, it's slow paced, but some a massive, major, huge reveal that we spoiled. And sorry, I've already seen it like in 20 places this morning.
Yeah, I was like, it's on Disney Plus. If you're already watching the show, it means you already have Disney Plus. It means you're watching it today. This episode comes out 2 days after it aired. How have you not watched it? Just out of curiosity.
Yeah, I messaged Sam. And I was like, Sam, if he watched Hawkeye yet this morning? He's like, no, I probably won't be able to until this weekend. He's like, why? Did something happen? I was like, oh, something happened. All right. It was a fucking huge, massive, incredible reveal. He's like, tell me now. I don't care about spoilers. I was like, fucking Kingpin. He's like, Vincent D'Onofrio. I was like, yeah. He's like, fuck yes, I can sleep tonight.
But the thing that got me so excited, I was trying to explain this to my dad. Kingpin is one of my favorite villains of Marvel. Like there are so many comic stories that involve Kingpin that just it's one of my favorite characters. He just is, straight up.
Oh yeah.
Like,
I mean, hell, he'd shave your head again, put you in a fucking white suit, and give you a cane.
What I love about Kingpin is that he doesn't have superpowers. Kingpin has no superpowers. He's just really strong and full of rage. And
incredibly brilliant.
Incredibly rich. Like
incredibly intimidating.
Like I just love him so much, but he's one of the more grounded villains of the Marvel universe. And because yes, a lot of people associate him with Daredevil, mainly because of the live action adaptations. Both of them. But Kingpin has fought, you Spider-Man. Fucking name it. Like, you name it. He's probably had a quarrel with that superhero.
I mean, Daredevil and Spider-Man are the biggest two. Daredevil primarily, and then closely followed, I'd say, by Spider-Man.
Yeah. I mean, it's got to be a New York-based hero, really. If we're
especially New York street-level based heroes like Spider-Man, like Daredevil, even though Spider-Man has been, escaped that street level, but he was a street-level hero for the longest time.
Yeah. Yep.
But he has escaped that, absolutely. But,
Punisher,
Luke Cage.
Luke Cage, yeah. God, the list. It's a large list because Kingpin is a formidable villain.
Absolutely.
Like, people usually put Kingpin in either Daredevil's rogue gallery or Spider-Man's, but he's more than that. He's not to the level of like fucking Doctor Doom, but I love Kingpin. I love Kingpin, and he's also been a villain in a lot of games. Like, yeah, there's 2 Punisher games where he's the villain. He's the first guy that you fight in the Spider-Man game, and what's fucking wild about the Spider-Man game is a detail I think most people miss is that Wilson says to Pete, like, you done fucked up. I was keeping the city like orderly. Now things are going to get out of whack. What the fuck happens in the game? Things get out of whack. There's a power vacuum now, and Spider-Man has to deal with that because of the beginning of that game. People miss that point because it's true. Wilson Fisk is a he is so intimidating and such a huge force within the microcosm of New York's like stability that I just anyway, Daredevil or Wilson Fisk is back in the MCU, and I couldn't be fucking happier about it.
And this morning, Wilson Fisk is trending on Twitter.
Telling y'all, like I'm putting my phone away Thursday night. Like,
yeah.
Twitter is getting deleted off my phone. And we just keep going on about Wilson Fisk, but like the rest of this episode was so interesting. Like, I love Yelena. Fucking love Yelena. She is fucking funny, but like she can like what's her first name? Pugh is her last name. I know that much.
Oh, Florence Pugh.
Florence Pugh. She does this immaculate thing where she's kind of silly, but if you say the wrong thing, you're getting a pencil in the throat from across the room.
Yeah.
Like, and I love that. Like, it just always feels that way, and I absolutely adore that. The other thing that about this episode that we kind of, I guess, I don't know if you mentioned it, the opening bit with Yelena.
Yeah, I didn't mention that. That was great. Where she shows up in the home of a former widow.
Yeah.
And thinks that she's been brainwashed and tries to give her the cure that she was given widows in the Black Widow movie. And she's like, I'm not brainwashed. I'm like, how can you afford all this? She's like, I make a good living getting paid to kill people. And she's like, they're having a conversation. She's like, I need to go to the bathroom. And she's in the bathroom and she's washing her hands, and all of a sudden you see her start to fade away, and then all of a sudden she fades back in, and the bathroom's painted a different color, and she's in the same house. She was blipped, and that 5 years was like a 5-second thing to her. So that was a cool thing that they showed.
Yeah. That visual threw me for a fucking loop because we've never seen anybody's full on like perspective of getting blipped. We've seen people come back from the blip.
Yeah.
But like what they visually see, we've not seen that yet.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck happened? And Dad goes, oh, she just came back from the blip. And I went, oh my God. Because that's the other thing you have to keep in mind, that the Black Widow movie takes place right after Civil War.
Yeah.
And then that end credit scene with Val takes place after Endgame.
Mm-hmm.
So like years in the future. Maybe not years, but you could
5 years.
5 years, yes.
At least 5 years. Civil War was 2016, was it?
Yes, 2016 in universe, because right now in universe we're in 2023, 2024, something like that.
Yeah.
And what was I going to say? The
end credit scene with Val took place after Endgame.
Oh, that's right. That's what I was going to say. So in the end credit scene, we see her talk to Yelena and hand her a picture of Clint saying, here's your sister's murderer, right? And we were like, okay, she's going to get revenge. But in this episode, we hear that she's been hired by somebody, that somebody hired a Black Widow to kill Clint. So the question begs, is Val working with Kingpin? And if not, what was the point of that scene with Val? Like, did Yelena intentionally find a way to take an assassination job to kill Clint in revenge and payment? Or is Val working with Kingpin? Like, I need answers.
Which also means, hey, she went to recruit, John Walker in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Is he pulling the strings there to set up this Dark Avengers team?
See, I don't see...
Or the Thunderbolts.
I don't see Fisk doing that. That's not that's not Wilson's MO to create a team of.
You were trying to say Fisks, weren't you?
I was. My brain was like, you're not adding an S to that word. That's
yeah, there's just so many things, though. It's just like
so many questions that this raises.
And the fact that this was kept completely silent for the most part.
For the most part, yeah.
I mean, people have been there's been speculation. There's been hints, but there's been nothing definitive to, there's not a fastball straight down the fucking plate looking right at you saying, hey, here's this coming. No, this was a change up from hell. There's subtle hints, but nothing definitive. But yeah, oh man, I'm so excited. The implications and ramifications that this can have are far-reaching.
This is why I love Marvel, folks. Like, this is why I read the comics. Like, people made fun of me for reading the comics when I was a kid because it was silly, it was stupid, blah blah blah. And now we have this, and this is the kind of shit. Like, it's not like the comics, just straight up. MCU has a lot of differences from the comics.
Oh, absolutely.
But what I love about this, what we're experiencing right now, is what I love about the comics. And the fact that all y'all get to fucking experience this too without having read a comic is so fucking exciting for me. So I'm so stoked. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great, and it's gonna continue to be great.
Well, what grade would you give this episode, Greg?
A+.
Oh yeah.
And not just because
Same here.
Like, not just because of the reveal, but because, like, Florence Pugh and Hailee Steinfeld, almost said Atwell, they, like, somebody made a joke on Twitter that because of that performance and that scene, it feels like we should have paid the $30 Disney Plus premium thing.
I mean, it was a good scene, I really glossed over it and talking about it, but still. It's something that you should watch for yourself.
Right. I highly recommend it. Oh my God. But
this episode was very good,
it made up for any mediocrity that the season's had so far.
Oh, absolutely. It's been a slow build, and the culmination that this is all heading towards for next week, I'm just like, whoa. And I'm so shocked that we got a Kingpin confirmation before No Way Home. I was thinking we would get a Kingpin confirmation after No Way Home. But
yeah, that's we talked about this last week, and you were like, there's no way they're going to give us Kingpin before No Way Home. And I'm like, I don't know. I think it might be.
I was just, I squealed. Squealed in delight. Yeah, but this episode, A+, absolutely. Really good, really strong. Probably the best episode of the series so far.
100%. 100%. Because, like, as much as I love action of superheroes, I also love superheroes being a little bit more grounded and, I guess, realistic. And that's what most of this episode was. Like, the scene with Clint talking to Natalie in front of that mural. Not mural.
Oh, takes his hearing aid out and he's talking to the plaque, because he's got no other way to really talk to her where he is. Oh, that was good.
Like, it's just a great episode through and fucking through. The actress Alicia Cox that plays Maya.
How do you pronounce her first name?
Alicia?
I don't think so.
Aliqua?
I think it's. Yeah, it's spelled Alaqua. That's.
So okay, I'm misspelling it, or mispronouncing it.
Alaqua, maybe, or Alaqua, something like that. Forgive me if I'm mispronouncing your name. Like she's going to be listening to this.
It would be hard for her to listen to it, considering she's deaf in real life. So
that's not what I meant, but yes. Also, that's
Alaqua.
Okay, Alaqua.
I know that's
her first. Yeah. Well, this show is great because I love seeing her on the scene because it's representation from a Native American standpoint. It's representation from the deaf standpoint. It's representation from the amputee standpoint. You know,
The fact that she
uh,
stands toe to toe with Clint while like knowing full well that the actress is doing those moves with a prosthetic, I'm like, oh my god.
that's fucking impressive because I can barely walk around with my prosthetic. Of course, my prosthetic is very ill fitting. Last week, I actually went to get fitted for a new, what they call my definitive socket, which is supposed to be a better fit. But they noticed something when they took the casting for my new prosthetic. What remains of my calf muscle has shifted, so to speak, and they think it's adhered to my fibula, and it's out of position. And when I can flex it, and it just like Mr. Universe, it just gets huge. It's swole. When I walk, though, I'm always flexing it because I'm subconsciously uh, mimicking my left leg, how it flexes when I
Right.
walk. It causes me tremendous amounts of pain.
Yeah, it's not fucking good.
Oh no, I have extreme discomfort with my current prosthetic. I mean, if I have it on more than an hour, hour and a half, I start to receive tremendous amounts of agony. Like my friend was over yesterday, I had it on. I had to take it off before she left. After she was here about 3 hours, I was like, I'm so sorry, but I've got to take this leg off. She's like, don't worry about it. Make yourself comfortable. You don't have to keep it on for my account. So when she was leaving, I was like, I'd get up and see you out, but kind of can't right now. But yeah, that the fact that she does these stunts, the stunt work, the athletic maneuvers, the whole physicality and nature of it all is just incredibly impressive to me
Yeah.
because I live with it and I know how difficult certain things are. So,
Yeah. Yeah, it's yeah,
it
it's
is.
100%. Like it's for me. I mean, it's like I can't do that shit with two legs. So I mean,
Yeah,
I'm already impressed. But
yeah.
um, yeah, I don't
Well,
know. Like
yeah.
everything about this episode is fucking incredible, and again, like I said, it made up for any mediocrity we had in other episodes. I'm really surprised they're not naming the dog Lucky
They
ever.
haven't yet, but you noticed Grills when they went to his apartment. He's like, "Hey, I think I found a name for your dog," and that's when he saw Clint's face. He's like, "Holy shit, are you okay?"
Yeah, so maybe we're getting the next episode, but oh man, this is. I'm really hoping that Clint and Kate go to San Francisco and create the West Coast Avengers. Is this San Francisco
Or
in the comics? I think it's San Francisco.
I think it was San Francisco in the comics, the West Coast Avengers.
Hold on.
But they've been sowing the seeds for Young Avengers.
Right, that's true too.
But we'll
Quarters
see.
of West Coast Avengers. I mean, because they're setting up multiple teams, like
Yeah.
multiple fucking teams.
Oh, absolutely.
Los Angeles. That
It
makes
was
more
LA.
sense.
Okay. Also, just love the use of Run DMC's Christmas Time in Hollis on the soundtrack to the show, and the tracksuits were listening to it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They're
Run
like,
DMC, oh, classic tracksuits. And they're sitting there talking about, representations of other people that wore tracksuits and everything. It's like Royal Tenenbaums,
yeah, that
which
was that. Yeah.
I adore that fucking movie.
So you know what
Royal
was really funny, by the
Tenenbaums.
way, about the Tracksuit Mafia being in the show is that people didn't know that it was an actual thing from the comics. I was like, no, that's an actual fucking gang in the comics.
Yeah.
It was really funny. People found that out and they were like, no way, is that like that's a real thing? But yeah, well, let's move away from more. Oh, one small thing, a detail that I noticed in the credits, but the last shot before it went to the black and white credits, when it was doing the cinematic credits, not only were we getting You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch in this episode, which was great. A great fucking song to play right there. But the last shot of the city, and you see within the shot of the city, the kind of hand
Silhouette.
drawn is a silhouette of Kingpin.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, God, it's so good.
I'm so excited. I'm so pumped.
Yeah.
Like it's just
Friday
like,
can't come. Friday can't come fast enough. Like I got today and then tomorrow, and I'm gonna try to keep myself busy all those days, like both days.
Mm-hmm. Well, I've already decided. You know, I don't have anything to do other than edit the show and get it ready to publish before Friday. I've not read the Witcher books yet, even though I have them as of a couple of months ago. I'm going to start reading the first book, and I'll probably finish it tonight. Maybe
you went
tomorrow.
balls deep into the Witcher world. Like you were like, I love this show so much. I played the absolute fuck out of Witcher 3. I bought the books. I'm gonna read the books. I'm like, God damn. Oh, and the fucking
That Kickstarter that I went in on, the Old World, it's a tabletop RPG. I went all in on it. Cost me 280 euros, which is about 340 American. But that's the first Kickstarter I've ever backed. But it'll come out in June, is when it's slated to come out of next year, and there's over 100 miniatures that come with that game.
Yeah.
Well, there's like 6 Witchers. There's a Siri miniature. There's a fucking the main villain of Witcher 3. There's his miniature. You know, I love the world. You know, and I went back and there was a Steam sale, and I bought Witcher 1 and Witcher 2 on Steam for like $4.50 combined.
Did you hear that? By the way, Henry Cavill is he was saving the Witcher 3 DLC for as a Christmas treat.
Nice.
Yeah,
it's good DLC.
That's the thing about Henry Cavill. You got to keep in mind, like the dude's a massive nerd. Like,
I fucking love it. Well, he was on the Graham Norton show, which is a talk show in England, a week or two ago, and they was talking about Warhammer 40K.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, it's just a massive amount of fun. You know, you buy your miniatures and you paint your armies, and then you battle armies on a tabletop. You know, so there's." He was just excited in his enthusiasm talking about it. I just love seeing that this is a guy who's, if it weren't for an actor, he has the same hobbies that I do.
Yeah,
you know,
he almost missed out. He almost missed out on the role of Superman because he was in the middle of a World of Warcraft raid.
Yeah.
So
I mean, funny. The guy's he's one of my favorites just because of who he is.
Yeah, he's
but this motherfucker was born to play Geralt. He was.
Well, I mean, you can say that, but also I feel like he put so much of himself into the role because he loves The Witcher so much as a lot of others. But yeah, let's go to the last thing. Jesus, it's taking us forever to get to the other part of the show that we were meaning to do. So I saw a bunch of groups online kind of listing their top, like their best shows of the year, best movies of the year, whatever. So I thought, why don't we kind of, in a sense, revisit some of the best stuff that we've watched this year? And I decided, I messaged Maya last night and I said, what if we do our best shows of 2020 based on what we've already watched? Like,
you mean 2021?
Sorry, yes. Jesus. I didn't get a whole lot of sleep last night. I went to sleep at like 3 a.m. and then woke up at 7. So
I went to sleep before midnight last night.
Damn, you were in bed like fucking what, 8:30 my time?
Roughly. I was sleepy.
No joke. I was playing Fall Guys. Yeah, I'm gonna take a nap later, but yeah, our best shows of 2021. Sorry, my bad, everybody. Because 2022 is around the corner. Jesus Christ, 2022. We still don't have flying cars. We barely have fucking electric cars. So I wrote down 6, but I'll just do my top 3, and I'll list the other 3 later. So why don't we go with our number 3 to start off with? Why don't you start us off then? In that
Oh
order?
no, you start us off because I only have. Yeah, you go first.
Okay, that makes sense, I guess. My number 3 is Bo Burnham's Inside. Um,
I remember not enjoying that.
right, right. I thought it was an incredible piece of art that exemplified what a lot of people felt like they were going through in 2020 with the pandemic and whatnot. And then on top of that, like I still listen to the songs on Spotify. Like Bo isn't just a great musical artist; he is a great talent. Like I really want to see his movie that he did called uh, Eighth Grade because I feel like Bo is a fucking immense talent that the world kind of doesn't know in a way. I don't know. I fucking loved Inside a lot. I watched it like 7 fucking times. Still listen to the songs while I'm in the car doing stuff. So I adored it. Adored it to hell and back. What's your number 3?
Well, I don't have them ranked.
Okay.
Well, you just said pick my favorite 3
I
or top
literally picked
3.
you top 3.
Yeah, but I don't have them ranked in order.
Then just hey,
And no. Well, Midnight Mass is one of them.
okay. That's all right. Go ahead. I'm surprised you
Well,
went with that one first.
well, it's the most recent, I guess, of the top ones.
I mean, it's on my list too, but we'll get there.
Okay. Oh, what's another one on your list?
My number 2 was Loki.
Okay. Loki was in my top 3.
Uh, I'll just say my top 1 as well because my favorite show of the year was Midnight Mass.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah,
Well, my other one is technically it came out in 2020, but we were watching it this time of the year last year was probably Mandalorian Season 2.
did we watch that in 2021? I guess we did. Why isn't it? Oh,
Well,
that's because we didn't review it.
we reviewed it. It was
Why
just
didn't I find it?
we were reviewing it last year in December, and I think the last episode was like Christmas or Christmas Day or New Year's Day, somewhere around there.
Oh, that's why.
So I'm including it
All right, fair enough.
because I was looking back at the list and there was a lot that I really enjoyed. Like I really enjoyed Why the Last Man, but we don't know the future of Why the Last Man, you know. So it's like, can I really put it in my top 3? We're not getting more of it as of right now. We may, who knows. I really enjoyed it though. I would definitely put it in my top 5.
My other 3 on my list, by the way, were WandaVision was number 4.
WandaVision would have been up there in the top 5 if I had done 5.
The Suicide Squad was my number 5.
Mm.
Loved that movie. And number 6 was Invincible.
Invincible was up there too for me. I was really really impressed with Invincible, but I was just like it wasn't top 3 worthy to me. There was a lot more that we reviewed this year that I didn't enjoy as much as things we've reviewed in the past.
Yeah, I was gonna say this year had a lot. Like it had a few really really solid things.
Yeah,
Uh,
absolutely. You know, and even though it wasn't in our top 5 or 6 that we mentioned, Falcon and the Winter Soldier was fucking excellent.
yeah, like that's. I mean, the when I made my list, I basically I went January to February. I went each month, looked at everything reviewed, wrote everything down, and then had to start crossing things off as I was looking at the list. I was like, nah, Soul was really good. I enjoyed Soul, but I can't. No, I'm not going to put that in there. And then I was like, this show, and then this show, like, it was really good, but I got to cross it off. And then I made the top 6, and like. The reason that Invincible is my number 6 is because it made me want to read the comic, which I did, the entire fucking comic.
Yeah.
And then the Suicide Squad was on there because it is arguably one of the best I guess, vigilante style movies that has ever come out. And I say vigilante because I don't know what else to call the Suicide Squad, you know. And it was funny. It was genuinely really funny. So, like, it's just a really good movie. Basically, WandaVision, Loki, and Winter Soldier, and to a lesser extent, I guess, Hawkeye, have all been great. Fucking great. I'd say WandaVision and Loki are the better. Like, if I had to rank them, it'd be Loki, WandaVision, fucking Winter Soldier, Hawkeye. It's real close on that.
Yeah.
But, and then, yeah, like, but Midnight Mass, dude, like, it was the most original content we had that we reviewed.
Absolutely.
And fucking, it was just so much fun to watch. Excellent performances out of everybody involved. Like, it was recently announced that Mike Flanagan was going to be working on another horror thing for Netflix, and I'm like, great.
Yeah, the Fall of the House of Usher.
I'm in. Like, just tell me Mike Flanagan's working on another horror thing, and I'll watch it. Just straight up. It's
Absolutely. The guy's everything that he's touched that I've seen has been golden. You know, and there's projects he's done that I haven't seen yet, but I want to check out just because of the things that I have watched of his.
Yeah. Yep. Agreed. But yeah, it's been an interesting year. I know that, like, I should have done this with Anthony, but I wanted to do like our top games of the year or whatever. But at the Game Awards, which happened Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday.
Yeah. Arguably the game that I felt was my game of the year. One
game of the year. Yeah.
How many times would you say that I've talked about It Takes Two?
At least twice.
All right, fair enough.
I mean, I didn't keep count, but you have, you know, other than Fall Guys, which is your go-to, have fun, keep coming back to game. The game I've heard you praise the most out of any game in the past year has been It Takes Two.
Yeah.
And I want to play it. I just haven't carved out time to do so.
I mean, the great thing about it, and I've mentioned this 1,000 times, is that if you get it, find somebody that has the same system or whatever as you that you're playing it on, and they just have to download a free copy and can play with you online. By the way, keep in mind, you cannot play this game single player. There is no AI.
It literally does take two, which is why I've not played it yet, primarily.
Yeah. I'm lucky that I have a close friend that wanted to play it. We did it together, Andy and I. But, and like, I'd play it with you, but I already know everything that's going to happen. So it's kind of like, it's not as fun. It's,
you kind of want to have this, like, let's discover this world and interact with this world together and then have it unfurl before us at the same time, kind of thing, to get the maximum experience out of it.
Exactly.
I get that.
100%. And it's definitely tough to, like, I remember when Portal 2 came out, and I really wanted to play all of the multiplayer stuff with my friend. And but what ended up happening was that because of work or other scheduled things or whatever, like, Andy beat it before me, and I didn't have anybody else to play it with, especially at the point that I was at in it. So it was either find somebody else and catch them up to my point, or finish it with Andy, who already knows how to beat it.
Yeah.
And that ruined the experience a little bit, not going to lie. Like, yes, he did pause himself and let me figure out the puzzle and then direct him. Still not, still not great, but that's aside the point. But yeah, It Takes Two is just a wonderful game. But there was a bunch of games that came out this year that were really good, other than me playing an ass ton of Fall Guys.
I can't think of anything that came out this year that I played.
Mario Party, Superstars.
Well, okay. Yeah.
Which is an excellent Mario Party for online capability. Like,
Yeah, I've not played it solo any, but I've played it with you guys, and I've had genuinely a shit ton of fun playing it.
yeah, I was gonna say it's a lot of the games that I have on my Switch in regards to like Mario Golf, Mario Tennis, Mario Party. It literally exists on my Switch entirely to play with friends. I don't play those games solo. Like I did play a lot of Mario Party solo just to unlock something, but all I was doing was um uh my brain doesn't want to work suddenly. All I was doing was setting up the AI to be easy, doing 10 turns and just letting it kind of autoplay. But what I was doing was I was giving a handicap to my character of 5 stars. So when it ended, I was always winning and getting the max amount of coins to spend at the store to unlock everything. That's how I was playing it. So I'm not really playing it solo, if you catch my drift.
No, I do.
But like,
Yeah, I'm just browsing through a list here. I don't think I've played anything other than that was released in 2021.
I can tell you right now, Maya, like Andy and I have been trying to convince Mark to get Mario Tennis, and I want to convince you to get Mario Tennis because like Andy and I had probably the most fun playing Mario Tennis online. It is an absolute blast. 2v2 trying like oh my god, dude, it's so much fun. But it's it's Nintendo. It's a 2-year-old game that still costs fucking $60.
60 fucking bucks. Fucking Nintendo.
It's so annoying. But anyway, we're getting a little off track here. So that's gonna do it for us this episode, guys. We're gonna wrap it up here. Yeah, watch Hawkeye. Go watch Hawkeye. It's a fucking great show. Plus, like, you can't skip out on a lot of these Marvel things. They're gonna tie together. Like seeing Black Widow is absolutely important to Hawkeye now. Maybe not the first episodes 100%, but now it is. Now it absolutely fucking is important to watch Black Widow before seeing Hawkeye. And Marvel's going to release these movies on Disney Plus before they're important. So you have no excuses. If you're watching Marvel content and you have Disney Plus, you have no more excuses other than maybe I don't have time. Make time, god damn it. It's Marvel. Next
I thought the phrase was "make mine Marvel" from back in the day, not "make time." God damn it, it's Marvel.
wait, was it really make mine Marvel?
There was a slogan that was used, especially in the 80s and early 90s. People would write in the letters. That they used to have the letters page at the end of fucking comic book issues.
Yeah.
And a heavily used motto was "make mine Marvel."
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Did not know that. That's news to me. So next week, like we were talking about earlier, we're gonna have a mega episode. It'll probably be a solid fucking 2 hour, 2.5 hour episode. Like it's gonna be our end game episode. I'm just in terms of time. Sorry, that sounded weird. Like we're done doing the show after this.
The fuck we are. Shit to watch. After next week, I think that a week after next is the Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah. There was also something else in regards to that. What the fuck was it? There's genuinely something else that's coming out. Oh my god, I can't think of it. Other than Book of Boba Fett, there's something else coming out that we're absolutely going to have to review. But I don't fucking remember what it is. Anyway, get off track because next week we got, like I said, South Park post-COVID, the return of COVID, which is the wrap up of last episode where the kids are all adults. And then we have The Witcher Season 2, which we're both very excited about. We discussed that earlier. Geralt and the fuck is the bard's name?
Jaskier.
Jaskier.
Even though in the books he's called Dandelion.
Dandelion, that was the name I was really looking for. But yeah, so they're coming back. It's going to be great. Yennefer and Ciri are going to be in it. It's going to be good. Oh, we're getting Yesemir or Vesemir too. I almost said Yesemir.
Vesemir and Lambert and Eskel. I was
Which
fucking so excited.
Which to keep in mind about Vesemir, go watch the anime movie that they did on Netflix called Nightmare of the Wolf.
Mm-hmm.
All of that's now important.
Yes.
But yeah, so that's next week. And then we also have Hawkeye Finale. Like, we had the reveal of Kingpin. We're very excited about the future of what this means for the MCU, and I'm just it's dope. It's fucking dope. So we have
and then of course Spider-Man: No Way Home.
Yep, we're gonna add that in because
we can. Well,
not only
that's why.
Not only because we can, but we should. Like, I think we didn't review Eternals on here because you didn't go see it in the theater.
I did not get to. No.
But Eternals is, let's see here.
Eternals. It comes to Disney Plus on January the 12th.
Okay, January 12th. That's what I was looking. That's what I was going to look up. So yeah, maybe when it comes to Disney Plus, we can review it. But
why not? Depends on how much shit we're watching then.
Because didn't we review Black Widow this year too? Did we? No,
we didn't review it, but I talked about it.
Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoyed that movie.
Yeah. I thought maybe we did. Yeah, fuck it, whatever. Wasn't there another Marvel film that came out this year, or was it just Black Widow, Eternals?
Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi, that's the one I was missing. God.
Which was a lot of fucking fun.
4 shows and 4 movies this year, Marvel. Good gravy. And they're setting up a lot of shit. Anyway, so yeah, 4 things next week. 4 very exciting things. You might get a lot of A pluses. I don't know.
You might get some B minuses, some C's, a D. You might get an F, but I don't foresee it happening.
Like Spider, so season
between Witcher 2 and Spider-Man, these are 2 out of the 3 things I've been anticipating most all fucking year.
Yeah, like I'm excited for the South Park special because I just remembered the other fucking thing that we need to review, Maya. The fucking Reno 911 hunt for QAnon.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we're 100% covering that.
Yeah, that I saw that last night and I sent it to you and I was like, "Yep, we can't not watch this."
I love Reno 911.
Yeah, but yeah, I was gonna say the South Park thing. Like, I'm excited about it because I need to see the culmination of that last month's episode.
Especially the exploits of one Victor Chouse. I need to see that.
When they showed that name, I was like, "Oh, I know what that is." I was so happy. But let's see here. Yeah, and then of course the reason that we're excited for Witcher is because season 1 was so good and the fucking games have been good. It's just like that's why we're excited about that. But like my speculation on grades is that everything on this list is getting an A. Will it be an A plus? That I don't know. Like, I've seen a few reviews for No Way Home, and I'm a little worried that it's not getting an A plus. But I won't go into why.
No. I'm excited. I can't wait.
Yeah, I'm very excited. Well, that's the other thing about Marvel stuff is that like the fucking multiverse stuff excites the hell out of me. So.
Oh, absolutely.
But anyway, Jesus Christ! Like I'm so excited for everything coming out this fucking next week. It's gonna be dope. And I like how the last thing that we watch is going to be Hawkeye because we can't watch it earlier. Whereas fucking South Park comes out tomorrow as of recording this, so Thursday. And then fucking Spider-Man and Witcher come out Friday. So, dude, okay. Anyway, we got to move on. We got to get away from talking about our excitement for the next fucking few shows that we're going to review.
Yeah.
Make sure you follow us.
We hope you're excited too.
Fucking for real, like, yeah. Jeez. Oof. Anyway. Yeah, make sure you follow us on all the social medias. They're listed down below, right under the video, especially if you're on the Podbean website. Like, there's a chunk of fucking block text that's there that shows everything you follow us on, or follow the show on, I should say. Check out the Teespring store. Maya put some hard work into fixing it up.
Updating, fixing all the artwork. Our dearly departed cast member. No, she didn't pass away. She's just no longer with us.
I mean, the word departed doesn't necessarily mean dead, so.
No. She's no longer part of the show, so it wouldn't be fair for us to sell artwork with her likeness on it if she's not a part of the show. So it's just Greg and our likeness of Greg and I on all the artwork on the merchandise. And there's a promotion, AQU 15, AQU, the numbers 15, gives you 15% off on all your purchases made at the Teespring store to commemorate this.
Yep, that's our initials and 15 for 15% off. Also, want to give a quick shout out to our friend Bambi for kind of mocking up the design of what it looks like a little bit. Didn't she?
Well, she helped because my Photoshop skills are limited. She was able to accomplish what I was trying to do. So huge thank you for that. And as payment, all I had to do was swear undying loyalty. So
well, there you go. I mean, nothing like bending the knee for a little help in Photoshop.
Well, I don't have too much of a problem bending the knee anyway, considering I crawl a lot when I don't have my prosthetic on.
So it's just an easy task at this point.
Yeah.
Also, go check out the YouTube channel. That's where you'll find the video version of the podcast. I don't believe that the video version ever it goes up on Fridays, but it definitely goes up before the next episode. So
yeah. Well, I was just late getting it published this week.
Well, I was gonna say priority is always getting the podcast itself is up. That needs to be up Fridays, but video version can be delayed. Plus, I need to start making videos for the YouTube channel that are short form so people can share them. Because if we can get our little funny banter back and forth situations out there in a better format, that'd be great.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it, and that's all. I'm gonna try to, after December, get back into streaming some Jackbox because it's just gonna be busy the next for the rest of the year.
Well, this Saturday is Secret Santa for us. Next Saturday's fucking Christmas. Saturday after that's fucking New Year's.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe January. We'll fucking see. Also, we might take a break after next week's episode because I don't believe we're gonna have anything after that unless Book of Boba Fett comes out before next week.
I don't know. We'll find out. We'll let you know next week.
Yeah, we'll let you know. But yeah, Maya, where can folks find you?
They can find me on Facebook under my name, Maya Dawn Fisher. It's a public profile, so if you want to follow me on there, you can do so. You want to hit me up for conversations, talk about things that we discuss on the podcast? That's cool too. Just don't be creepy. If you want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram, those are linked to my Facebook profile. You can do so from there. And if you want to catch me on other shows, I'm on a show on the Realm of Collectors YouTube channel called Figure Bangin'. It's a live action figure review show. It comes on every other Wednesday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. And I'm not sure what we're looking at this week because as of recording, we haven't recorded the show because that's tonight. I don't even know. We may take this week off. I don't know. But that's where you can catch me. Sometimes you can catch me on another show called Shelf Gravy on alternating Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern. It's a do-it-yourself kind of crafting, DIY, build dioramas, customize figures, paint, painting techniques, all kinds of stuff. And both shows interact with the chat. So their live format, interact, answer questions, demonstrate techniques, things like that. It's a lot of fun, and if you're into nerdy things like that, give that a follow over on the Realm of Collectors YouTube channel. And that's everywhere I'm at. What about you, Greg? Where can people find you?
You can follow me under all socials under Chub Rock Geek. You can also find me doing the Mission Start podcast with Anthony. We just did our video on the reaction to the Game Awards. It was a really fun conversation talking about this year in gaming, and it was great. I guess that does kind of count as like my favorite games of the year too, because we kind of talked about that. But yeah, it's always a good time hanging out with Anthony on doing that and talking about video games. But we don't do it nearly as often anymore. So when we do it, I'll let you know.
You said doo-doo.
I did say doo-doo out loud. But yeah, other than that, follow my Twitch channel, just because when we go live after this next few weeks, you'll be able to join us to play some Jackbox. And you don't have to buy anything. All you have to do is create a Twitch account if you don't already have one, watch live on Twitch, and use your phone, tablet, or PC to play along. It's that simple. You don't have to pay a dime other than your internet service and, I guess, electricity. Maybe bring snacks? I don't know. I'm not your fucking boss. But yeah.
You don't have to share those snacks.
No.
Because that would be physically impossible.
I mean, you can
unless you come to one of our places.
Right, exactly. So,
and if you smell funny, I'm not letting you fucking in.
Yeah, again, guys, huge episode next week. I'm fucking stoked. I cannot wait. It's gonna be a busy fucking watch schedule too, because I won't here's how my schedule goes for the next few days, Maya, just FYI. Tomorrow morning I'm gonna wake up and watch South Park if I can. I don't know if I can. Hopefully I can. And then I gotta go to work. And then after work, when I get home, I take a shower, pack up some clothes and some overnight stuff, and then I'm going to my buddy Andy's to stay the night. We're gonna hang out, play some games, to have some fun. I don't know what we're gonna do, but after which we're going to the next morning. His kids have to go to school normal time, but they have a minimum day. So around noon, we're gonna take off from his house. I'm gonna meet him and his kids at the theater, and then we're gonna watch Spider-Man. I'm fucking excited. And then after that, I come home, and Friday night, I really don't have a lot going on, but I'm pretty confident that Andy and I are gonna work on the Fall Guys challenge, because they're adding Nightmare on Elm Street. I'm sorry. Nightmare Before Christmas. God, my brain just does not want to work today. They're adding Nightmare Before Christmas skins to the game, and they have a challenge to get Santa Jack, or Sandy Claus, as it's so known. So probably doing that, and then Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and possibly Tuesday is me working and then watching Witcher and then playing Fall Guys. And that's my Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and going into Tuesday. And then of course, Hawkeye. That's how my schedule has to go. So I'm just going to be a busy boy. Very busy boy.
Yay.
I like being busy though. It keeps my brain from thinking about terrible things. So that's,
Absolutely.
But
let's get out of here.
Let's get out of here, guys. Thank you so much for listening. We love you. We appreciate you. You look good. You smell good. Is that a new cologne? That's weird that I can smell you through the thing. Anyway, guys, take care of yourselves, and we'll see you next week. No, that's not my line. It's not my line. It's to see you next week.
Take care, everybody.